My daughter attacked me when I refused to sign documents transferring all my late husband's assets to her name, so I sold everything, enjoyed life, and did not give anything to her. I lost my husband of 25 years last year. We have a daughter who's been married for 2 years. My son passed away after her marriage, and it has been hell ever since. Our relationship with our daughter was very good without any incidents before her marriage. She was sweet and loving and was a great daughter overall. She got married to the man of her choice. After that, it has all gone downhill. She stopped coming to our house, stopped responding to our texts and calls, and made almost no contact. We weren't rich, and although my husband had a lot of assets, they hadn't been liquidated. When he died, he didn't leave a will because it was so unexpected. After his death, my dear daughter didn't even attend his funeral or any other functions. She didn't even call to ask how I was. Barely 6 months after my hubby's passing, she and her husband barged into our house and brought with them a lawyer, who told me to sign some documents and a blank sheet. I know the legal processes and am not ignorant, so I asked her what was in those documents. I don't know what I did, but here she was, demanding that I sign some unknown documents and a blank sheet and not answer any questions. I asked the lawyer what it was about. He said it was for transferring all the assets in her and her husband's name. I said no. Here, it got violent. She attacked me, and I had to scream for help. I didn't call the cops but told her to get out before I did. She was adamant about me signing and tried to take my thumb impression. At this point my neighbors had come over and had witnessed pretty much the last part of forcing. My neighbor, bless his heart, physically kicked them out. After this, I was shaken and very hurt. I don't know what I did, and I was honestly scared for my life. She kept sending me messages, though not threatening, cause maybe her lawyer told her so. She kept sending sweet messages, thanking me for making her the beneficiary, transferring all assets to her, etc. I was disgusted. A week of harassment later, I decided I had enough. I wanted out, so I met my lawyer, and he said since there was no will, I was the sole owner of all assets and could do as I wished. Long story short, I sold everything, made 8 figures, and bought a new house in a place I'd always wanted to be, far from everyone. Now, I plan to enjoy the rest of my life traveling and generally doing things I haven't been able to do but have always wanted to do. I recently heard through the gossip vine that my daughter tried to start litigation against me shortly after I sold and left, but it fell through, as everything was in my name now. She now wants to meet me and is pressuring her lackeys to contact me and ask me to meet her. I said no. I don't understand why she did that. It would all be hers anyway. They don't know where I am presently, and I'd prefer to keep it that way. My daughter got an infection because my parents pierced her ears without our permission, so I denied the right to see my daughter until they pierced their nose. My husband and I traveled down to Mexico to visit with my family. I am an American citizen, and my mom and dad are not. My mom and dad got my daughter earrings for her birthday. My daughter's ears are not pierced. She is only 1 year old. I told them I would save them for her until she was old enough to get her ears pierced. We left my daughter with my parents while we met up with some friends. When we went to pick up my daughter, my mom showed us that we didn't need to wait because they had taken her to get her ears pierced. I got my daughter, and I dragged my husband out of there before he lost his poop. We went back to our hotel. I am furious. My husband said that my parents are not allowed to spend time alone with my daughter ever again. I went farther. I said I would not be bringing her, or any other kids we might have, down here to see my parents. We checked out 3 days early and went home. On the way home, my parents called me to see when we were coming over. I ignored all the calls and texts until we returned to Phoenix. We took a couple of days to think things over and cool down. I finally called them. I asked them not to speak until I was done talking. I told them my husband and I were upset with them for getting our baby's ears pierced without our permission. I told them we went back home and probably wouldn't visit for a while. They said that my sister and I both had pierced ears when we were babies and that it did not harm us. I said that we were not going to change our minds. They started getting everyone, including my grandmother, to call me and say I was being ridiculous. I talked with my husband, and we came up with a compromise. We agreed that we would resume visits, but not alone time, with them if they both got their noses pierced. They said that we were being stupid and that they were not going to do that. I said no problem and hung up. We have started blocking anyone who tries to call us and give us poop for denying my parents their right to see my daughter. Update 1. Well, she is currently dealing with a serious infection in both ears from the piercings. How sincere should the apology be to make up for my 1-year-old being on antibiotics? Update 2. Firstly, my baby is okay. She got over the infection, and the damage to her poor little ear was only cosmetic. My parents have agreed that they will pay for any reconstructive surgery that might be needed. They also both got their noses pierced. I had one of my friends down there verify it. My dad got pierced like a bull so he could flip it up inside his nose. My mom got her nostril done. Neither thought I was serious until we ignored them for months. No pictures, no nothing. My husband is still furious but has agreed to accept their apologies. We also made sure that they understood that we would not be leaving our baby alone with them under any circumstances. They will have to go a long time to rebuild our trust. Before you ask, no, I will not force them to keep their piercings. The deal was that they did it.